Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox. I'm back for another episode. Today I have with me Sheryl Zaworski. She is the VP Director of Global Ethics Escalation, Investigation, and Analytics at U.S. Bank. We talk about the Data Project. First, a word from our sponsor Conversant about CONVERGE18. As you know, the last year has publicly brought ethics to the center of business reputations worldwide. With the acceleration of the speak-up culture and organizational accountability that social media is enabling and amplifying, companies need to incorporate integrity into every level of their organization. CONVERGE18 is helping organizations to do just that by addressing ethical transformations head-on. This event will be held in Denver, Colorado from October 8th through 10th. At it, you will be able to network with 300 of your peers, including C-suite executives, legal professionals, HR leaders, and ethics and compliance visionaries. Gain insights from 35 speakers, including such prominent speakers as Wei Chin, Steph Vogel, the NBA's Deputy Chief Compliance Officer, and Carol Switzer, President of OSEG. You will bring home actionable takeaways to your compliance program from a variety of sessions, including 2 keynotes, 5 general sessions, 12 based roundtables, and 18 interactive breakout sessions for you. You can get more information on CONVERGE18 at Conversant's website, conversant.com. Listeners to this podcast will receive a 50% discount to the event. Use the discount code TOMFOXVIP. That's all caps, TOMFOXVIP. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox again, back for another episode. Today I have with me Sheryl Zaworski. I hope I got that right, Sheryl. And
yes.
We're here to talk about a roundtable she's leading at CONVERGE18 entitled The Data Project, Join Me in the Trenches. So first of all, Sheryl, thank you for taking the time to visit with me, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, I've titled the roundtable session, Join Me in the Trenches, because that is sometimes how I feel when we're working on a data project, given all the demands that are on ethics and compliance professionals these days, from executives, business line leaders, and others in the organization, where there are so many data analytics opportunities now that there are tremendous expectations out of ethics and compliance professionals. So what I'd like to do in the session is engage folks in discussion about the experiences that they've had after I let them know a little bit about the experiences I've had in the past couple of years working on a couple data projects here at U.S. Bank. One where we were trying to develop an ethics dashboard, and another one where we are engaging in data analytics to identify the potential cases that we might have when we have a hotline reporter. We close the investigation of the case, and then after the fact, we do want to follow up and do some data analysis to see if there are any indicators that there might have been retaliation against our hotline reporters. And of course, we can only do that if they are non-anonymous, but we still want to engage in that effort.
Sure. One of the things that greatly interests me about your presentation, and frankly your experience, is that, as you know, I come from the anti-corruption compliance space. You're in financial services and have been in the financial industry for quite some time. And I believe in many ways your industry is much further along, much more mature when it comes to data management and really how to use data for compliance. So when you say your discussion will start with join me in the trenches, is that because you have been hands-on with this, both with the data, but also trying to come up with a way to put together a dashboard that others could use to help interpret that data?
Exactly. We have been trying to pull together the end-all be-all dashboard that I think many companies have been trying to develop. We've heard of some who have had some successes, and I'd like to share some examples of some of those during the session. But I also hope that people will come to the session with a mind toward, sharing the types of dashboards that have been successful for them in their efforts, and others that they know about, so that we can really get to the heart of, how can we go about developing meaningful dashboards for the executives? And I will share that our process has been a very bumpy road in terms of trying to narrow that down to the ethics space in general, but also specifically. And we'll just share in the trenches some of the experiences I've had, how we've handled setbacks, and where we're headed from here. And I hope that other people will come and share their experience as well.
So you said a lot there. Let me pack a little bit of it, Sheryl. First of all, you seem to pretty clearly that it's a work in progress, and that you're taking information, data that you generate, and really putting it in a feedback loop to further refine the product as you go forward. And it also sounds like there are multiple stakeholders who are using this information. So certainly yourself as a compliance officer, but you mentioned senior management and perhaps even to the board. Would that be correct?
Correct. That is correct. Yes. And that is one of the difficulties that I can share more about in the session in terms of trying to create a dashboard that can be all things to all of those people is something that we have found to be extremely difficult.
The other thing that struck me is I've heard you describe what you hope to accomplish in this session several times, and you've made it clear in each time you've described it that you really want this to be not simply interactive, but really a conversation between multiple participants where you would share some of your personal experiences, but also have others bring in their experiences, perhaps some best practices, and really help the group understand that there's a wide variety. There's no one way to do this. There's a wide variety, and share some of the people who've succeeded and frankly have had, as you said, bumps in the road getting to a dashboard or other analytical framework which would allow analysis by some groups other than compliance.
Yep, that's correct. I would love for this to be more of a discussion than a lecture or the typical talking head presentation. Even though I'll have some materials that I'll be bringing, I sure hope that others would like to join in the conversation to share practices, share how they've also overcome some setbacks, to just really create a broad spectrum of thoughts and ideas of how different firms are accomplishing this dashboard task, because it is a pretty heavy lift. And, I hope to learn some things in the session as well that I can take back and use at US Bank.
It's funny you say that, Sheryl, because every time I lead a roundtable, I inevitably learn more than I came there with, simply because the people really, as you said, share their experiences, and I get to kind of fit those into the specific project, the client, or even the type of environment that I'm going to use it. So it's really a win-win for everyone for there to be that robust discussion.
Right, I agree. And, many of us will come to CONVERGE18 from different industries, but I still think even so, we can learn from each other, in terms of the development practices of a dashboard and the types of metrics that we all use. Even though one metric might be much more relevant to a medical device company than it is to the financial services industry or the restaurant industry, there are certainly also some common ones that we can all share. And quite frankly, if I hear of something from a medical device company that is a little unique to them, I can maybe still think of a comparable thing that I might be able to do at my company, because it just sparks the thought process. And so, that's what I hope we can come together in this session and just really share thoughts, ideas, setbacks, and kind of rally around each other and help each other kind of get to the next point where we can take some good information back to our companies and maybe take something to the next level.
So that really led to the other area I wanted to explore with you, Sheryl, which is what do you hope to get out of Converge? And you gave a great answer there. And to me, it really started with the wide divergence of not only professions, but industries and practices of the speakers. but also of the attendees, so that in the roundtable setting that you'll have someone like myself, perhaps from energy, someone who is maybe in medical devices, someone like yourself from financial services in the financial industry. We may have some government regulator types, and indeed even others. And what do you hope to try to achieve at Converge 18?
Well, last year was my first opportunity to go to Converge, and so Converge 17. And quite frankly, it was the best conference I went to last year. And so I'm really excited to be a speaker, but I'm also excited to be there and a participant attending the sessions. I learned quite a few things that I was able to bring back to USBank last year, just in general, in terms of, thinking about ethics hotline best practices, which is a predominant area I have responsibility for, and a little bit about data analytics and some of the approaches that can be taken with hotline data and other ethics arena data. But I don't want to stick just to data and data projects. I also want to hear more from even, the executives at Converge, who were very motivational last year when they got up to speak, and also from the keynote speakers they chose. I think that having that perspective, that's not necessarily something we sit and do every day at our desk. Being talked about our industry and ethics and compliance is motivational, and just kind of helps everyone regain a focus and excitement for what we do in our jobs every day. And so I'm just looking to be reinvigorated again like I was last year, and I'm pretty confident I will be.
Well, Sheryl, unfortunately, we're near the end of our time, but I wanted to thank you for visiting with me. I've been visiting with Sheryl Zaworski, who will be leading a roundtable at Converge 18 on the data project. Join me in the trenches. I think it's going to be a fascinating, not only exploration, but actually full-blown discussion by people in a wide variety of industries and areas about data analytics, and dashboards, and how they all work for the various stakeholders and corporations. Sheryl, thank you for taking the time to visit with me today.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox again. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will join me at Converge 18. Once again, you can get up to 50% discount to Converge 18 by using the code TOMFOXVIP. That's TOMFOXVIP. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you'll join me again.